is disabled. However, the door itself requires a key code. A sentry bot has been deployed, which will transfer the key code to the nearest Cybertronian if it is destroyed. Its location is highlighted on your map. The ship's entrance is now open. Megatron has taken control of the ship and the Ferrot Taxis that operates it. He now commands the Insecticons. Blaster turret located on the platform. Just a moment. There. I've marked the route on your map. It's on the top level of the ship. Only accessible via elevator. Access to Teletraan-1 logs granted. Clearance level Gamma. Query. What is a transformer? Transformers is the Earth-given name to robotic aliens from the distant planet of Cybertron. These robots have the ability to alter their shapes, changing modes into vehicles. Each transformer, with rare exceptions, can take on one alternate mode. They refer to themselves as Cybertronians. As far back as many of their memories stretch, two distinct factions of Cybertronians have been locked in a constant and terrible war. The result is that Cybertron has been left nearly uninhabitable. The heroic Autobots fight to protect individual freedom, while the evil Decepticons believe that peace only comes through tyranny. Their war took to the stars long ago, and both Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots, and Megatron, leader of the Decepticons, have found their way to Earth. Query. What are Energon cubes? Energon cubes were created as a storage device to harness and keep Energon, the Transformer's primary source of sustenance. Used to stockpile Energon, the Energon cube has become the primary storage device for the Decepticons, who are looking to siphon as much raw Energon out of every planet as they can. Energon cubes are mostly stable, but if hit with a big enough impact, or a large enough blaster bolt, they can violently explode. Query. What are Insecticons? Insecticons are a different life form from Cybertron. They are Transformers categorically, but they are not the same as the Autobots and Decepticons. The Insecticons encountered here rely primarily on instinct and a hive mind to guide their actions. The last group of Insecticons that Optimus Prime encountered on Earth had distinct personalities, but these are different. These Insecticons were created and bred for one purpose: to serve their master. Whom they serve is a question that remains unanswered. Query. What is a plasma core? A plasma core is an ancient device, much like an Earth generator, that produces vast amounts of energy. Long ago on Cybertron, during the height of its peace and prosperity, its golden age, plasma cores were used with some regularity to light up entire sections of the planet. As Cybertron fell into war and ruin, the technology to control plasma energy, thousands of times more powerful than regular Energon, was lost. There is a plasma energy chamber deep within Cybertron's core that has remained dormant for millennia because the danger of using it is simply too great. In order to cyberform an entire planet, a great deal of energy is needed to power the Insecticons and to make changes to the planet on a molecular level. To that end, no power supply short of a plasma core could be used to cyberform a planet. Query. How does cyberforming work? Powered by a plasma core, carried out by millions of Insecticons and Terraclaws that break down pre-existing structures, the Ferrot Taxis supercomputer directs the process of converting any world into one capable of supporting Cybertronian life. The process known as cyberforming restructures a planet's surface as well as its core elements, converting high volumes of rocks and minerals into metals and energon, the life-giving building blocks of all Cybertronian life. Query. What is a space bridge? A space bridge is a device capable of bending the fabric of space and time to connect two points in space that are far apart with an energized tunnel or bridge. Once the bridge is traversed, the traveler can jump from one location to another, be those locations kilometers apart or light years apart. Query. What is the Ferrot Taxis? The Ferrot Taxis is important to all Cybertronians who long for a return to the Golden Age. It contains the principles of the colonnade of Cybertron. Those principles were the foundation upon which the greatest era in Cybertronian history was built. Despite its cultural and historical significance, the Ferrot Taxis is also a supercomputer that directs the Insecticons and the explosive energies from the plasma core to cyberform entire planets. The Insecticons are given instructions from the Ferrot Taxis telling them how to reshape a planet's surface, making it appropriate for Cybertronian life. The plasma core's energy is used to alter the foundational elements of the planet to create a self-sustaining environment capable of supporting Cybertronians. There is no Cybertronian that would wish any harm to come to the Ferrot Taxis, despite its powerful abilities. When cyberforming a planet, it uses the colonnade as the basis for the society it builds. It literally turns a planet into a new Cybertron, physically, but also as a society. It must be protected if there is to be any hope of Cybertron returning to a golden age. Query. Who or What is Nova Prime? Leader of the mission of Cybertronian expansion. Conqueror of the Benzuli Expanse. Nova Prime is often heralded as the greatest Cybertronian ever to bear the Autobot matrix of leadership. He is a Prime in the true sense of the word. Not just a title, but a leader and a visionary. His ship, called the Proud Star, set out to ensure the survival of Cybertron forever by finding uninhabited worlds and cyberforming them so that they could be colonized. His legacy and his memory have shone brightly, even over the millennia since his departure. Query: what is Teletraan Alpha? Teletraan Alpha is the original computer in the Teletraan series, the first of its kind. It had a perfect operational record. There has never been a record of Teletraan Alpha having made a mistake. Any mistakes made in which Teletraan Alpha was involved have always been attributed to Cybertronian error. However, no Teletran since the Alpha has managed to maintain that level of integrity. Teletraan Alpha may have been the crowning achievement of the Golden Age, and every subsequent Teletran has lacked pieces of lost technology that were a part of the Alpha's core makeup. While the Teletran series continues to this day, making very few errors, they are somewhat diminished from the original. Query: how did Megatron know about the Proud Star under the Earth? It is apparent that neither Megatron nor his Decepticon lieutenants knew for certain what was happening to the city, nor what lies beneath it. However, Megatron's memory of the Golden Age is clearer than most Cybertronians, and so it appears that he suspected that plasma energy was one of the causes of the city's destruction. Query: is Megatron correct that the Proud Star was underneath Earth's surface? Megatron's suspicions were confirmed. The ship he now controls is indeed the Proud Star of legend. Commentary: it must be a perverse kind of joy that Megatron now feels, knowing that the instrument of Earth's destruction was an Autobot invention, and Autobot mission. Observation: Starscream's anger. Starscream's constant annoyance with Megatron appears to be heightened, as is the tension with his fellow Seekers Thundercracker and Skywarp. It appears that the recent rise in tensions surrounds the search for the plasma core. Starscream is perhaps feeling that he is being underused, and Thundercracker feeling that plasma energy is too dangerous. It is likely that Starscream will berate Thundercracker for his apparent cowardice, while secretly fearing destruction himself by way of the plasma core. Query: who is Shockwave? Shockwave has been the caretaker of Cybertron ever since Megatron departed to chase Optimus Prime across the stars. His unending loyalty to both Megatron and logic means that his voice rarely wavers, not because he does not know excitement or fear, but because his convictions are unshakable. Nothing catches Shockwave off guard, and therefore, he is often underestimated. Of all Decepticons, he may be the most dangerous after Megatron himself. Query: where do those walls come from? The walls erected in the city appear to be of Decepticon origin, officially termed Kion barriers. They are powerful, and will require velocity and acceleration to penetrate. Best chance of breaking them is to attack them at full speed in vehicle mode. Proceed with caution. Observation: kinetic shields and barriers. The barriers are erected by whatever is doing the cyberforming. The same basic technology is used by Megatron and his troops for extra shielding. This kind of technology has not been used since the Golden Age of Cybertron. They can only be broken by use of extreme force. Most effective method of destroying them is to gain full speed in vehicle mode before attacking. Query: what are plasma accelerators? Whatever is creating the kinetic barriers also seems to be creating plasma accelerators. This is curious, as those are ancient Cybertronian technology that has long since been abandoned, largely due to the prevalence of space bridge technology. In order to use the plasma accelerator to increase your velocity, enter it in vehicle mode, and it should provide a significant boost in speed, allowing you to break even kinetic barriers by simply running into them. Observation: SentryBot. These security satellites appear to be the optics and audio sensors of whatever is causing the cyberforming to take place. The signals and direction to these Insecticons are coming from somewhere else, and it would appear these satellites are a part of that overall system. Analysis: it appears that these walls are malfunctioning. Something has corrupted this system, and is causing malfunctions of all kinds and magnitudes. Cause of the malfunctions is currently unknown. Insufficient data. Query: what are the pods in the ship? The 6-sided pods are symbolic of the Cybertronian colonnade. The colonnade had 6 cultural axioms, or columns, that gave the colonnade its long-lasting strength of concept. These pods, however, serve no actual function in regard to the colonnade beyond a representation. They appear to be containment units and stasis pods for Cybertronian life. Observation: cargo lift. The cargo lift was created to access any level of the ship. Its anti-gravity propulsion system allows it to move freely throughout the ship's vast infrastructure. The turret, it appears, was originally designed to house a pilot, but has been converted to hold firearms. Conclusion: something went wrong on this ship. The crash, the turret, the failed mission. It does not appear that the Proud Star fell from the sky due to an outside force, but rather an internal dispute. Query: why are there stockpiles of Energon cubes in the city? Energon cube stockpiles are used by all Cybertronian life for fuel. The stockpiles around the city suggest that there are large numbers of Cybertronian life forms nearby and active within the city limits. Query: what are these chests? Often accessed via the transspatial converters. These mobile depots contain any number of items, from weapons and ammunition to augments that permanently improve a Cybertronian's abilities, such as strength and endurance. Query: what are transspatial converters? They are Cybertronian in origin and have the ability to fold three-dimensional space into a trans-dimensional vault. Upon accessing one, whatever has been folded inside reveals itself. Query: what are Kremzeeks? Kremzeeks are electrical beings that cause havoc with Cybertronian systems. They are rare, but seem to appear when certain systems meet with unnatural power surges. They appear to be alive and always name themselves Kremzeek for reasons unknown. It is unwise to taunt Kremzeek. This wind current is too strong to pass through, even in vehicle mode. This wind current is too strong to pass through, even in your dino mode. Analysis complete. It appears to be a volatile form of Energon. It would likely explode if you throw or shoot it. Uplink activated. Recommendation: use the turret. Recommendation: destroy the Insecticons on the cargo lift before they attack you from all directions. There is a solution. The core is becoming unstable. It will explode. If this continues, the whole room is likely to explode shortly. Scanning. There are 2 caches nearby. Warning: Decepticon activity detected. Maintaining visual surveillance. Further analysis suggests that this Energon has regenerative properties. After exploding, it will regenerate for multiple uses. To break through the rubble, detonate the aerial mines in front of it. You are moving away from the core. Please check the device's readings again.
Scanning. Identified. Cybertronian Bumblebee, beware the coming tide of chaos. You will evolve, known by another name. In time, your spirit will be that of legend. Your monikers will be many. The World's Bridge, Goldbug, Race Welder, and finally, Goldfire. Scanning. Identified. Cybertronian Wheeljack. Darkness comes for us all. Your time may be short, but your legacy will endure. That which you have made will, in time, save planets. Scanning. Identified. Cybertronian Sideswipe. Beware the coming tide of chaos. Your very nature will be tested, and an abyss will present itself to you. Face it with courage, and you will live. Face it with anger, and the fates are not so kind. Scanning. Identified. Cybertronian Grimlock, unable to read your aura. Cybertronian though you are also other. Your destiny is clouded, branching in ways we've never seen. Greatness or despair, all roads are open to you. Scanning. Identified. Cybertronian Matrix Bearer designated Optimus Prime. Through the Matrix, we can foretell your future. You will defeat your great enemy, and the war you have waged will end soon. You will lead your people so that they may face their darkest hour, but they will face it without you.